Let's talk about House of the Dragon Season 2, the finale, Episode 8. So we'll give our scores and then give a spoiler warning before we go into details on the episode. But I'll go ahead and let you start, Alex, and give your score for the finale.
The finale. Episode 8, right? So
Yep.
There was only 8 episodes
There was.
in this season, and it wasn't enough.
Yep.
I think if this weren't a finale, it would have been a better episode than it was. But the fact that this is the finale, for me, it felt... I know they're trying to build up, and I'm a sucker for cliffhangers, but this just feels like a cheap cliffhanger. Like, they could have... I almost wonder if it was like HBO telling them, like, okay, we're not going to put it in this season. Like, cut episodes 8 or 9 and 10 and put it in next season. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to spoil
it kind of
but
feels like it, yep.
if this was just an episode 8 and we still had episode 9 and 10, this episode would have been like an 8 out of 10 for me. Because it is a good build-up. But the fact we have to wait 2 years or maybe even longer, and we get no conclusion to this season. Like, this season, I actually really enjoyed the season, but with this episode, it felt like this season, like, there's no conclusion. So I would give this, again, I'm being a little harsher on it just because it is a finale. I would honestly probably I was teetering between a 6 and a 7, but I'm gonna give it a 6 because I feel cheaped out, man. They straight up said, nope, y'all are gonna wait 2 years. So 6 out of 10. I still think it's a good episodes. Could have been a 7 or an 8 out of 10 if it wasn't finale, but as a finale, 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm actually... I think I'm a little harsher on this than you. This finale definitely felt disappointing. It didn't really feel like anything happened, and I was thinking about it, it felt like we're at almost exactly the same place that Season 1 ended. And so it just doesn't really feel like much happened, and I feel like so much more could have happened in this episode specifically to get us to a different spot. But it just felt like, yeah, they ran out of time, they ran out of money, or they cut some episodes and just had to like squish some things in here to try and make it feel exciting for Season 3, but it just didn't really to me. So yeah. I was honestly between a 4 and a 5. I do agree with you that if this was episode 8 and we had 10 episodes, this would have been definitely like a 6 or a 7, maybe more, depending. But like for a finale, this just felt so disappointing. As a show overall, like it still did some good things. Like they had interesting parts, but just as a finale, it just fell flat for me. So I'll give it a 5, which for a season finale, for such a hyped up show, it feels very disappointing.
No, that's fair. I mean, was it just me or like I was towards like the middle of the episodes or like when there's like 30, 20 minutes left, I kept checking the time like, oh, okay, something will happen. Something will happen.
Yeah.
Like I kept checking the time and I'm like, okay, something has to happen now. And did nothing happen.
Yep, I know. It's crazy.
And there was a certain plot line that I don't understand why they did it in this episode.
Yep, I think I know exactly which one you're talking about.
Yeah, probably. Well, there's a couple actually, because there's another thing that they keep dragging on too, and again, no conclusion to that either.
Yep.
So you're right. I mean, I totally get why you did a 5. I guess I just did a 6 because I still was entertained and I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed parts of it too.
I'll tell you this: if I never go online and stuff, and I was an idiot, and I just like thought there was gonna be 10 episodes like the first season or 9, whatever.
Yeah.
And I didn't know this was a finale. Like I would have really enjoyed this. I would have been hyped. Actually, I'd been like, "Oh yeah, I can't wait for next week."
And then you would have died inside when it.
Then I would have been pissed. Then I would have been pissed.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But like as far as like the acting and everything, it's fine. But you're right. Like when you said like from the finale of season 1 to now, not much has changed. And like I'm thinking about it, and you're kind of like right.
Things happened. Like there were like some things in the season that happened, but I don't feel like it changed the overall makeup of where we're at in the show. Like from a big picture.
I mean, no, it really hasn't. Like they could have made this whole season in like 2 or 3 episodes.
Yeah.
But maybe you're right. It seemed like they maybe were just dragging it out. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe.
Like I enjoyed it. Like I actually really did enjoy the season though, so I don't want to like discount the other episodes.
That's why I think this episode's so disappointing, because there were some really good episodes this season and some cool stuff happened. But I felt like they should have moved the plot forward while doing those episodes too, and it just kind of felt like it got stuck. Everybody keeps talking about, oh, this war, this war is coming. I'm like, well, why isn't it here yet? Like, what?
Yeah, well, it should have been here, but you know.
Yeah, if you think about season 1, I mean, they skipped time so much. Like, stuff happened very quickly in season 1. Where there were time jumps.
Almost too quickly.
Almost too quickly, yeah. But this one, they went completely the other way and just dragged it.
Yeah, Yeah, it sucks. I hate when a finale can sour a whole season that you've enjoyed, you know?
Yeah. It hasn't totally put me off from season 3. I'm still excited. I still think it could get back on track and be good. But yeah, it sucks that this episode kind of soured some of the whole season. I agree.
Yeah, like I'll say this, it doesn't make me like necessarily like mad, you know, like a Game of Thrones finale did.
Yeah,
but
season 8.
yeah, this is more like, yeah, it's not like that kind of frustrating. It's just more of like, what the heck?
Yeah.
You're right, nothing really happened. While there are good episodes, nothing really happened. Big, you know, big. Things happen, like you said, but nothing big. And we don't even get a payoff. Like this season, it almost feels like a season like 1.5.
Yeah, kind of.
Like, it just almost feels like the story that happens between season 1 and 3. I'm very curious if when season 3 comes out, like, you could really just watch season 1 finale and watch the episode 3.
Kind of, yeah. You wouldn't miss much. You'd miss a couple
I mean,
of
just in
things
the
here and
sense of, like, you might miss the characters and stuff, but, like, it would make sense, right? Like, if you watch season 1 finale, like, oh, my son died, we're going to war, and then, you know, then you see the war.
Yeah, true.
Possibly.
That's a good point.
Anywho, I mean, obviously you'd miss a bunch of characters and stuff, but yeah, and then the Damon stuff again. I just now I'm thinking about this too much. There's just a few things I definitely did not like in this.
Yeah,
and yes, the Damon stuff is one of my things.
Yeah,
but that's not the main thing. But anyways, we gotta get into spoilers.
Yeah, let's get into spoilers. So, spoiler alert for House of the Dragon season 2, episode 8, the finale.
The finale, unfortunately.
Yeah, the disappointing finale.
Man, what's up with this, man? We were like, and remember, I even said last episode that I don't think there's gonna be big action.
Yeah.
But I said, give me something, and they did not.
One thing that's like emblematic of this season, I feel like, is we saw the same thing over and over and over again, and it was really highlighted in this episode. Like, how many times is Corlys going to go down to that dock and talk to Adam and have like the same conversation like that?
Yes.
It just felt like they didn't go anywhere. They kept having the same talks. Like, how many times are they like, oh, we're gonna have to attack? Like, Rhaenyra struggling over that was the whole season. Like, oh, I don't want to go to war, but we're gonna have to. And again, we got that this episode. And Daemon and Harrenhal going crazy with visions. It just felt like they recycled the same things over and over, which to a point is fine. But when it's the whole season, it really starts to just become kind of boring.
And you're right, like, it didn't progress anything. Like, you're right, like, talking to the doctor, this 8 other times they did that already. Daemon having visions 8 billion times. That whole storyline, for me, was trash. I didn't enjoy it, dude.
Yeah, the Daemon one in this one was really weird. I was not expecting... Okay, so we saw like a Children of the Forest. He touched the weirwood tree and then had a vision about the Song of Ice and Fire. That was just weird. I don't know.
Oh yeah, and saw like Daenerys and a White Walker, and we don't care about that because, you know, winter only lasts one day.
Yep.
So, like, are they trying to like get us excited for that was something we hated?
That was a weird choice.
Cool. You saw Vision that really isn't that bad, guys, I promise. They don't even make it past Winterfell, so... That's so stupid, sorry. We're gonna go on a Game of Thrones rant.
Well, yeah, and that's not a good thing for them to, like, highlight either. Like, they know people are upset about that. Let's stick to the current time in the show.
Yeah. So the biggest thing I did not like about that is it almost ruins Daemon as a character for me. My whole thing with him is I loved his unpredictability, but if he knows what he has to do now, his character's gonna be far less interesting to me. He's sworn to Rhaenyra. Now he saw the vision, like that witch lady said, like he knows his path, and so now, like, is he gonna struggle on that path? Or it didn't seem like he is. Like, he has a clear vision that he has to let all this happen, and to me that makes him far less interesting.
Yeah, it definitely flipped a switch, and now it seems like he's fully bought into Rhaenyra. Also, why did it take 8 episodes to get there if it was just gonna be a vision? And like, I don't know.
Literally, we did not need 8 episodes of this. That's just ridiculous, man. From going from my favorite character, the most interesting character, to I can't stand his storyline, and I'm not excited about where his character is going in the future. It sucks.
Yeah, it definitely takes away some of that unpredictability that makes him so interesting. But I don't know, maybe they could do it in a way that could still be interesting, but the way they did it here does not inspire much confidence.
And I don't know, maybe he still will. Maybe like that will be his new character arc, as he's struggling to follow this path, even though he knows it's the right one.
Yeah, and he still does things like, I mean, he sent that the killers to go kill Aemond, so he still may do things that are like not exactly what Rhaenyra would do to try and help her. So he still could like scheme and be a little more ruthless than her.
That's
but
true.
It won't.
Or
won't
maybe
be like
he'll do
possibly
things.
backstabbing.
Yeah, but he knows he has to do it that way for the future to happen. But Rhaenyra or something they won't understand, kind of thing. I
Yeah.
guess they could do interesting stuff, but I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't after what they did with him this season. I do not have faith in
Yeah.
that character.
I agree.
But the other storyline that. So what storyline did you think I was talking about?
Thailand with the Triarchy.
Yes.
That was...
Yes.
Why would they do that in a finale? Why would they introduce new characters like that and have, like... I don't know, that whole thing I did not understand.
And this is nitpicky, but I noticed it. That first shot looks so terrible.
With the monkey, or...
With the... When the episode literally first starts. Was it with the monkey? Yeah, when it has panning through the desert and the palm trees and... Yeah, and the monkey, yes. That scene looked awful. You could tell that is CG. Like, and I'm not normally one to pick with that. I'm like, it's a TV show, but this show always looks so good.
Yeah.
I noticed that.
Yeah, that definitely seems like they're cutting the budget or something. Yeah.
Yeah, they spent too much money on the last episode and episode 5 or whatever.
Yeah, and the most action we got in this episode was mud wrestling, which wasn't that interesting.
God. All that was not interesting, and the lady he had to get the army from, what was her name?
I don't
Did you
know.
write it down?
The pirate lady. I didn't even care to write it down.
Yeah, so and after all that, she's like, I need you to, father all my wives' children or something like that.
Yeah, I saw something where like that character is a mix of two characters in the book, and one of the characters in the book is like pretending to be a man, but it's a woman, and so they like have Thailand basically impregnate the wives so that that person can continue being a man and pretend it's their kids or something. I don't know. That's not really explained in the show. It was just kind of glossed over, and it was just kind of played for laughs, and it was weird. I don't know. Not something for a finale.
Interesting. No, I just don't. Yeah. Yeah. The other storyline, too, I was talking about is What's-Her-Face finding the stupid wild dragon. How many episodes or scenes do I have to have her freaking running around panting where this dragon is?
Yeah, with no payoff.
With no payoff. Yeah, there's no payoff. All this is in the finale.
One scene of her, like, riding the dragon flying around. That would have been more interesting, at least. And it cut to her so many times.
It cut to her so many times. Every time it cut to her, I'm like, okay.
Hopefully she finds it.
Okay. I don't know. She's gonna find it. We know she's gonna find it.
Yeah.
How did you feel about... Rhaenyra sent that dude, again, I don't remember his name, to Daemon to kind of check on him, and he pledges his alliance to him. Almost betrays Rhaenyra in a way, right?
He does, for sure.
I just remember when Daemon pledges himself to Rhaenyra, I turned to him and his face like, oh crap, is he gonna tell her like...
He like started backing away and tried to hide in the crowd. I thought that was pretty funny. It's like, he's like, man, I just flipped for you and now you're going back to her? What? Oh, I better get
Are you
out
gonna
of
tell her? Or... Also, with Daemon, when he touched that tree or whatever, Alicent's daughter, why was she, what was that?
That was
I
another
was a little
confusing
confused by
part,
that.
because it kind of mixes that in with when she talks to Aemond. It kind of seems like she can like see more than she should. I was thinking maybe she's like a warg, like Bran or something, where she
that's what I was
or
thinking
a
too.
seer. But I don't know. That kind of seems like it comes out of left field. So I don't know how I feel about that. But I don't understand why she showed up to Daemon. Like, do they have some kind of connection I don't know about? Like, I mean, he killed her son, I guess, but I don't know.
That was just random.
Yeah.
I don't know. I agree. I was confused by that. And again, we didn't read the book, so like, there's more to it. But like in the show sense, it didn't like. It came out of left field.
I've seen some comments of book readers not very happy with some of the stuff they've done in this episode, so it might not be.
I have too. Like, they've changed a lot. So those three things: the Daemon storyline, which again we don't even need to talk about in this review. Everyone, we've talked about in other reviews. He's at the castle, sees the dreams, goes, and then the witch is like, "Time to touch the tree," and he has those visions. That's literally it.
Yeah.
And then the dude comes and checks on him and pledges his allegiance to him, and he has his army, and And later in the episode, Rhaenyra comes and he does a bait and switch and says yes to her.
Talking about Helena, I do think her conversation with Aemond was pretty good when she was like telling him how he has no impact on the future, and if he kills her it won't matter, and like kind of tore him down a little bit. I thought that dialogue was pretty
Wasn't
good.
she saying like he's gonna die anyways?
Yeah,
like, you're gonna die. Yeah, that was interesting. I just didn't understand.
Right,
Like,
yeah. At least
why
the
is she-
dialogue was good, was pretty good, but the situation was weird.
Yeah, the dialogue and acting was good. Yeah, I always just like seeing Aemon squirm a little bit. So.
Yeah.
Another scene I thought was interesting, as you said, kind of like the dialogue of it, is with Sir Christian Cole and what was it, Alicent's brother when they're in the forest.
Yeah, I thought that was a
And
good dialogue scene
mhm,
with Cole kind of like questioning his whole existence and
yeah,
kind of going nihilistic a little bit. I thought he had some good lines in that.
Alicent's brother sees him like holding her cloth or something. It's like, you've been with my sister, yada yada yada.
And it's Sir Gawain Hightower.
Gawain?
Gawain, Gwayne.
Interesting, Gawain. But yeah, I found that interesting too. And then it ends with them just, he's pretty much like, oh crap, you're right, we're just gonna die anyway.
Yeah, which makes sense when you see dragons. You're like, what can we do?
Yeah, literally. Like, what did he say? We're just like sand or something. I don't know. He said something interesting.
Yeah, like mist to be blown away by the dragons in the morning or something. Yeah.
And then literally after that scene, it's that mud scene you're talking about.
Yeah.
They fight and he wins her over and yes, you can use my ships because you beat me in a mud fight. Cool.
Woohoo.
Fun. Then they have a feast that she's saying he needs to lend his, stuff to all his her wives.
Yeah.
Another good scene I did like was the one where Rhaenyra and her son, what's her son's name again?
Jace.
Jace, yeah, they're having dinner or whatever, supper with all the new Dragon Riders.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I just like the interaction of that scene, especially with
Ulf.
what's the weasel? Yeah, Ulf, yeah.
Yep. That was one thing I wanted to bring up. I think that could be really interesting because Ulf is kind of acting like he's a king or like really important.
Yeah.
And it's kind of showing that Jace might have been a little bit right. It's kind of a crapshoot who you get, who's going to be the Dragon Riders, and if they're lowborn, and do they think they can take more power because they have this dragon. And so that'll be an interesting thing to see next season on how he behaves once he gets more integrated.
And I also like how Jace is kind of having an internal conflict, how he's like, he knows he's a bastard pretty much.
Yeah.
He's trying to earn his right there, but he's like, am I like these people? I don't know, like he's having that internal.
Yeah, and even one of Ulf's lines, like, oh, hair as black as they say, that kind of probably got under his skin. And yeah.
And then after that's that vision scene and all that crap we already talked about.
One thing that I think would have helped this episode a little bit. So in this episode, they talk about how Aemond went and destroyed a whole town, and I feel like if we even saw a little bit of that, that would have added a little bit more. Yeah, it would have made it a little more.
Yeah, we just see the aftermath of it, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't even see that. Yeah. Did they run out of budget? Like, what happened, man?
Yeah, I think they were planning on 10 episodes and they cut it down to 8, and they had to. I don't know. I've heard some things about how they did cut the budget and want it to be cheaper. So it's HBO's fault, I think.
You're making a show about dragons. It's not going to be cheap.
Yeah.
You want it to be cheaper. Don't have big CGI beasts. Another good thing I really liked was with, what's his name? The hand of Rhaenyra's?
Corlys?
Yes, he talks to his bastard son.
Adam.
Much, and he's
or
Adam,
Alan.
yes.
Or Adam's the Dragon Rider, so Alan, I think.
And he's pretty much saying, like, why do you care for me now? Now that you've lost everyone, now you care about me.
Yeah.
You didn't before, kind of thing. And I thought that interaction was good.
Yeah, I'm glad, because it definitely felt like other scenes we've seen, but I'm glad Alan actually stood up and, like, told him why he's not that warm to him. Like, that was...
Yeah, that's why I liked the scene.
Yeah, it was good. It was well acted, too. Like, you could feel the hurt from Alan.
Yeah, because at first I was like, oh, you're right, like, another one of these scenes, but then he actually, like, said his piece, and like, okay, I like it. We're going somewhere. And then after that, it was a scene with Rhaenyra talking to her little lover, or I don't even know if she's her lover. I don't know what she is to her.
I don't know. That's where Alicent comes in, right?
Yes, she gets called in the middle of the night from... She's sleeping, yeah.
How did you feel about the Rhaenyra Alicent scene?
You'd think I would have liked it, Well, it kind of felt odd to me.
Yeah.
Just because, are they trying to like just reverse the roles? Like now all of a sudden Rhaenyra is a son for a son, I'm gonna murder him, even though there's already been a son for a son technically. And then Alicent saying "come with me" was like out of left field. I'm like, what are you talking about? Come with?
Yeah.
Like, you really think she would? I don't know. The conversation to me kind of felt weird, to be honest.
It did. I had a couple of issues with it. I think they did kind of try and do that, flip the script, and basically Rhaenyra saying it's too late, like you had your chance.
But it didn't make sense to me. Like it didn't earn it though, did it?
No,
I don't think it did.
I don't think so.
But anyway, sorry. What were we gonna say?
The two things, one, the son for a son thing is just weird because did she forget that, like, I mean, I guess it would be a son for a grandson, but like Helena's kid did get taken. And two, it's not believable to me that Alicent would be okay with Aegon being sacrificed for it. I don't know, just thinking about the other mothers in like the Lannisters in Game of Thrones, Cersei would not have given up her sons for anything, and it's just, I don't know, I didn't take Alicent as someone to do that, and so that just felt kind of out of left field and weird to me.
And again, maybe in the books, like I think I read somewhere that in the books they do become kind of like villains in a sense, like they're not perfect.
Yeah.
But the show doesn't portray them as that.
No.
So when they say all this conversation, it just seems off.
Yeah, it seems more incompetent than like doing villainous things. They're just like making bad decisions, not like making evil decisions or something. I don't know. Especially from an Alicent's point of view.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, well, even Rhaenyra, why all of a sudden is she okay with killing a son? Like for me, this season, she doesn't seem like she'd want that at all.
Yeah.
But maybe she's accepting now. If she wants to rise, she's gonna have to do something instead of just sit in the castle all day. I don't know. It just felt.
If I were to give a reasoning for that, like, I don't think this was done very well, but I think because he is the king and took her spot, like, she feels like he has to die or else there will be people who still think he's the rightful king over her and there'll be more of a resistance to her, maybe. I don't know. I don't think it was done very well.
I think she even mentioned something like that, but
yeah.
I don't know. And also, Aegon, poor Aegon. I actually think Aegon's like I don't think he's an evil person.
I think he's a tragic character.
All these people are like selfish and kind of evil, especially Aemond, obviously.
Yeah.
But I mean, like when maybe I'm reading him wrong, or maybe I don't know. I just feel for him. But does Aegon seem like a terrible king to you, or does he just seem like he's just not ready to be a king?
Yeah, that's more. I think he wasn't ready, and like he had horrible stuff happen to him, like his kid being murdered.
Yeah, like he shouldn't be king, but like I don't think he's like evil, like Daemon or something.
I agree.
Or Aemond, sorry.
Aemond, yeah.
Well, and Daemon. But so yeah, that whole scene was kind of like I feel like that was supposed to be like the big scene of the season.
Yeah,
or the episode.
Fell flat.
Definitely. I definitely think it did.
And then after that scene, it felt like there were a lot more things they wanted to set up, but again, they ran out of time, ran out of money. So they just did it in kind of like a slideshow fashion. We got like Aegon and Larys escaping to the Free Cities, which they kind of set up earlier, so that was set up a little bit. But then something, like they showed Otto Hightower, and he's just in a jail
he's like in a
somewhere.
Cage or something,
yeah. I don't know why didn't we get a little bit more background on that? Yeah. Like that was weird.
that was odd. That maybe like was there cut scenes or something? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, then you're right, there was like a montage. Then it had the new riders kind of gearing up, and it showed what's her face trying to find the stupid dragon again. Or finally finding it, whatever.
Finding it, yep. Cool.
We've watched like her run around 2 episodes. We've finally seen an army marching. I've been waiting for that.
Yeah, we didn't see it do anything, but
no.
But we saw it.
And then we see the Starks finally get there from a whole season of walking.
Yeah.
That we never see them except for the first episode, right? Or the second episode.
Yeah, I think it was the first episode. First scene of the first
episode. Where they go
episode,
to the wall, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, then we finally see them again. Yeah, it's pretty much just everyone kind of marching for this battle. Like, literally, Daemon looking at his army. Literally, the ships. Thailand with the ships.
And just think about it. Like, if we had 10 episodes, this would be a perfect gear up to episode 9, where the big stuff always happens. And then we would have had that, and then a cooldown episode, and it would have felt like a full season. But, nope. Like,
literally, that's what I'm saying. Like, if this was episode 8, and I knew, like, tonight we had the next episode to watch, I do not think... I mean, I think part of this episodes were still bad. You know, the Daemon stuff. I think the Thailand stuff, not very interesting.
Yeah.
But that's why I would have given it like a 7 or an 8, because like I would have been pumped, man. Like,
I tend to agree. Yeah.
I would have been pumped. Like, we would have watched the finale or the episode 9 tonight.
The
It would have
big
felt like old
one.
times with Game of Thrones.
Yep.
Like an hour and 20 minutes of just freaking battle. Like, could you imagine? And then you're right, the Fallout episode in episode 10. This is making me more mad thinking about it.
I know. That's why I'm so disappointed with it. That's why I was
Like,
almost gonna
nothing
give it a 4.
happened.
Yeah.
I don't actually. I mean, I really don't blame you. Like, thinking about it, like even a 6 is kind of high for a finale like this. Like, nothing happened, dude.
Yeah.
We got nothing. No payoff.
And like, if you think about the end of season 1, it was like Aegon being crowned, Rhaenyra being crowned for her side, and then it's like, okay, they're gonna go to war. And then season 2,
Yep.
no war, few battles, few cool
Yep.
scenes, few cool episodes. But then at the end of season 2, okay, we're gonna go to war. Well, okay, was the rest of it just like we already had this?
This freaking battle better be the coolest battle we've ever seen in Game of Thrones, bro. Or I swear to God. You know what? This is reminding me of like the end of Game of Thrones, man. When you're seeing the end of season 7, seeing the White Walkers finally get across the wall.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, this is it.
Man,
Yeah,
I hope they
or-
go back and decide to give it a budget again and not cut episodes or cut budget.
They're building it up too much. I know. I read some things after the fact, like, oh, they wanted to do it justice. I think it's just PR stuff. Do it justice and spend the time to make this battle right. It's the big
Yeah.
battle, you know. But
We'll see.
I mean, that's just PR. They either didn't have the budget. HBO told me, you better say this. We're not doing it this season, or they're just milking it. The coolest like scenes and battles for me in like Game of Thrones is ones that weren't like necessarily built up. Like it's almost like
Yeah, just random.
yeah, like
Surprise
I mean, some of
attacks.
them were built up, but like like Battle of the Bastards. I mean, it was kind of built up, but it was more of like, holy crap, I wasn't expecting that kind of
Or
thing.
Hard Home, where like it kind of felt like they came out of nowhere. Yeah.
Exactly. So, yeah, especially that episode. God, like, oh, that episode was amazing. Like,
Mhm.
but this one, we're gonna be sitting here for 2 years, trying to hype up for this battle, and is it gonna live up to it? We'll see.
We'll see.
What would you give the season as a whole
Ooh,
now
that's tough.
after seeing the finale?
That's tough. I might be too close to this disappointing finale, so I don't know.
Well, let me ask you this: what would you rate it if you without the finale? And you had to see a finale still, what would you have rated it then, seeing everything else?
Shoot, I liked a lot
As
of
a
the
whole.
episodes. I probably would have given it like an 8, maybe higher. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I would have gone, me personally, I'd probably have gone 8 or even a 9.
Yeah.
8.5, I don't know. I'd teeter between 8 and 9, I'd probably convince myself an 8. But
Yeah, that's where I was about. Yeah, but now, I don't know.
it's so hard because it's,
6 or a 7.
again, I don't want it to
maybe?
taint the others. Yeah, like, I don't want to taint the other episodes, but it kind of does, because, I mean, if you don't have a good conclusion, it makes it hard to appreciate the rest.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, look at Game of Thrones. I haven't watched Game of Thrones. I
Yeah.
guarantee you, if that final season would have been the most epic, amazing final season ever, I would have already rewatched the show.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Yeah, I would probably give it like a 6 or a 7, maybe, if I'm feeling
Which
generous.
is unfortunate because it definitely had the potential to be higher.
Yeah. I still think it's above average.
Definitely has its
Because,
bright
like, these
spots.
scenes-
Yeah.
I mean, the dialogue, acting, all that is great, but
Yep.
season 1.5, man. Season 2 is next in 2 years.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
But yeah, that's it, man. That's it. And I think we don't have any other shows we're reviewing right now.
No.
We need to find something.